Hello, today we are continuing with working with the text questions of the chapter Great Stone Face Part 1 of Book English, chapter Great Stone Face Class 8. We have done the first two questions in the first video. Let's move on to the third question. What gave the people of the valley the idea that the prophecy was about to come true for the very first time? A rumor was doing rounds throughout the valley that the great man who was supposed to bear a resemblance to the great stone face had finally appeared. Now, what does this mean? The question is what gave people of the valley the idea that prophecy was about to come true? There was a prophecy that a child will be born who will have the exact same face as the great stone face, and that person will be the noblest, the kindest, and the bravest person of the time. People are now thinking that this prophecy is going to come true for the very first time. What gave the people this idea? A rumor was going throughout the village, throughout the valley, that there was a great man who had a resemblance to the great stone face. The name of the man was Gathergold. He had left the valley when he was young and had settled at a distant seaport. He had grown up to be a very wealthy merchant. He had lots of money, and if he ever wanted to count his money, it would take him 100 years. He was that wealthy. So by the time he grew old, he thought that he wanted to return to his native valley and wanted to live the last few days where he had been born. It was believed that he had a close resemblance to the great stone face. So people believed that this person, Gather Gold, his face looked exactly like the great stone face, and the prophecy was about to come true. But did it really come true? We have seen in the story that people saw that Gathergold was his face was like the great stone face, but the positivity on the great stone face's face was not there on Gathergold's face. Secondly, this is what we are going to do in our fourth question. Did Ernest see in Gathergold the likeness of the great stone face? Did Ernest see that Gathergold looked like the stone face? So the answer is no. Ernest did not see the similarity between the stone face and Gathergold. He thought he could not see the kindness or the truthfulness or the positivity in Gathergold's face, as it was missing in his unpleasant face due to his wrinkled shrewdness. Gathergold was not kind or truthful. So that kindness or truthfulness or the positiveness that Ernest saw on Greatstone face, he could not see that on Gathergold. Secondly, who did he confide? Now he had this feeling that uh, Stoneface and Gathergold had no similarities, and Gathergold did not look like the Stoneface. He confided and poured out his heart to the great Stoneface that Gathergold did not have the likeness of the Stoneface at all. By the time he died, his wealth and money had disappeared, and he died of poverty and neglect. All the money and wealth he had throughout his life had disappeared once he died, and he died of poverty and neglect. He was poor and he was neglecting. He died in this state rather than dying rich because he was not truthful or kind. Nextly, what made people believe that General Blood and Thunder was the man? Who was General Blood and Thunder is the first question that we arrive at. General Blood and Thunder was son of a valley who had become a soldier. So soldier is the first word we can use to describe this person Blood and Thunder. He rose up to the position of famous commander. He desperately longed to return to his valley. Now, Blood and Thunder is not the exact name of this commander, but because he was so famous and because he had won so many battles, people named him Blood and Thunder. He was a son of the valley. He was born in the valley, but had went to become a soldier, and he rose to a position of a commander. He was old and he wanted to return to his valley where he was born. The neighbors of the person, all his friends, everyone in the valley felt that he had likeness of the great stone face. Again the prophecy was coming true. He had resemblance to the great stone face. The people in the valley believed that General Blood and Thunder was the man, and the prophecy was coming true with General Blood and Thunder. So when Ernest compared the man's face with the stone face, he concluded that he could not find any similarity. His heart, though, assured him that General Blood and Thunder was not the right person for whom everyone was eagerly awaiting. And Ernest thought that he was not a person, and the person who would bear the exact resemblance to Great Stone Face and would be the greatest and noblest person of his time was yet to come. Now, words like eagerly waiting can be used to express the ideas such as in this question. Thank you. Meet you guys in the next video to discuss some other questions about Great Stone Face Part 2.